Peace and love, brothers and sisters. This is one of my lecture series about Colin Kaepernick. The brother definitely is a powerful brother. Much love and respect to him. So today, before I get into talking about him and about the power and the energy that he's bringing, I want to read you this real quick. Silence is of great profit, and abundance of speech profiteth nothing. If one comes to thee full of knowledge, listen and heed, for wisdom is all. Keep thou not silent when evil is spoken, for truth, like the sunlight, shines above all. This is from the Emerald Tablets. So with that being said, let me just speak on Colin Kaepernick. So what the brother is doing is basically kneeling. And yes, we all know that he's not been able to play in the NFL. They have not given him contracts, etc. But the work that the brother is doing is definitely intense. If you study comedic science, then you would understand why this is such a big deal. The kneeling process and why that they don't, all of this, all because he's kneeling. And it's funny because when we talk about karma, Colin Kaepernick is exactly what it is. He is karma. And when people hear karma, sometimes they think of it in a bad way. But karma works, again, on a universal level of cause and effect. Alright? So that's what Colin Kaepernick is. He is karma of cause and effect. So, again, at any time that you are doing something in your life and that you are trying to get ahead or work a certain path, of course, there are going to be things that are going to block you. There are going to be things that are going to get in your way. So, just like he has a negative side with the contracts and everything else, but he's not letting that dictate who he is and what he is standing for. So that means he is operating definitely out of his heart, and that his heart chakra is definitely open. So with that being said, when you look at Colin Kaepernick, I'm only going to give you the images of what you should really see and why he is definitely being blocked. And if this brother doesn't know, then I would just want to let him know that keep doing what you're doing, and I definitely support you. So with that being said, let me show you the image. As you see, Haru is mentioned right here, as you see, with the fist up and also in the kneeling position. The almighty black fist also represents unity, definitely, which is used amongst the Black Panthers and other groups that scream black power, but it also represents 360 degrees of knowledge. That is what the black fist represents, so that he is really channeling energy by using also Haru. So that's what he's also doing when you see the black fist that he's throwing up. Alright, so this is what's getting also attention, things that you don't see. Miyat is another, as you see the kneeling. Now this is where it definitely gets even more interesting, because Miyat is the scales of justice. And if you was to call upon her, and if somebody was to do you wrong or do something bad or negative against you, that Miyat would be the one that would come to rend justice upon that person. And she's also used in the comedic science, again, as the scales at your heart be light as a feather. So when he's kneeling and he's saying that he's doing this for justice because an injustice is being done, guess what power and energy he's definitely channeling? He's channeling Miyat. So this is why it is important to understand signs and symbols. And this is why it's also to be able to recognize different energy in people, because then you'll understand the real meaning behind certain things and the power that comes with it. This is what happens when you change your focus. You see, Colin Kaepernick, he sees the problem in the world, and yes, he voices his opinion about it, but he also makes a statement about it. And by kneeling, by doing all these things that are signs of power and different energies and entities that are being used. So what happens is he's operating more off of his third eye. So that means his chakras and the level that he's thinking is able to manifest that more. All right. By getting others to be able to see that, hey, this is a problem, though there's others that don't see that as a problem and don't get the true meaning behind it, so they holler, well, well, what, and they take it as disrespect, or that he's disrespecting the flag, or he's disrespecting America, and see, that's where the trickery comes in. All right. So, with that being said, it takes a purpose to really manifest some things that you really believe. You don't. It's a spiritual warfare. All right. And this is where your soul has to come into play and see light, because where there's darkness, this is where your light will shine and cause the disorder. All right. To stop the chaos. What you focus on, you give power to. All right. So the more that you focus on police brutality, what they're not giving us, and they're jacking our culture and etc., then the more you focus on it, the more it becomes your reality. The illusion then becomes real. The more that you say chemtrails is killing us, the more it becomes real, because that is your focus. Your focus is to be able to learn to be able to operate from the inner level to become a real God, because that's where the God body is, and to operate these energies. Peace and love. I just want to say again, shout out to Colin Kaepernick. And this is just me touching bases of getting you to understand energy and why the brother is so important out here. Peace and love.